as we transition over here to, we talk about playoffs. Playoffs. The Storm finish up their regular season and know where they're going to be seated for the playoffs and know who they're going to be playing for the playoffs.
Yes,
so Bel will take that away here.
On August 9th, the Storm were down in Chicago and they took care of business there. They had a win, 111-100. Our first player of the game, is Brianna Stewart with 25 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Our second player of the game, and someone who I would like to see be this consistent a lot more and have the level of confidence that she's having recently, is Gabby Williams with 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. The team tied the WNBA record for most points in a game. Seattle becomes the 4th team in the regular season history to hit 111 points. And by the first quarter, end of the first, they had 38 points already. So that was insane. It was a great team win overall. And then they move on to Minnesota. On the 12th, they played the Minnesota Lynx. That was also a win, 96-69. Our player of the game there was Tina Charles with 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. And that game, I believe, was the clincher of the 4th seed. So after that game, we knew that the Storm would host the first 2 games, right?
First 2 games of round 1.
Yes. So, and that was against the Washington Mystics. But moving on here to our last regular season game against the Las Vegas Aces, again, a tough team. That was a loss, 109-100. Our player of the game was Jewel Lloyd, who had 38 points, 8 threes. She had 8 threes that game and 1 rebound. That was, of course, the last regular season game. A tough loss, but they didn't start the game the best. And then they went on a 12-0 run. And I remember Asia Wilson saying that this is a game of runs. So it was very visible in that game.
Yeah.
And then it was close all the way there until the end. It was really a nail biter.
Yeah, and I don't know. This game, I mean, you're playing the second? No, I think they clinched, the first seed in the whole league. Playing the best team in the league, effectively. You didn't have anything really to play for in this game. Obviously, I was saying you would have liked to win this game and go into the playoffs red hot, right? Having gone on that road trip, beating the second best team in the league in Chicago, beating the Lynx, who are playing for a playoff spot in their own right, and then playing Vegas, right? But what most encouraging to me is seeing, you scored 111 points against Chicago. Granted, you gave up 100, not good.
Right.
You gave up only 69 points against the Lynx. You scored 96. And then you score 100 points against Vegas, but you give up 109. So you can see the offense is clicking. Jewel Lloyd in that last game, 38 points, I believe, is a career high. Tina Charles clicking there. Gabby Williams, you talk about her performance. Stewie doing Stewie things.
Yeah.
I believe she led the league in points per game. I think that's gone official now. So you like to see the offense clicking, but because that's something that's like you see people in funks, and you need more performances for people that aren't Stewie. Right.
Sure.
But yeah, the defense is kind of like you give up 109 to Vegas, 100 to Chicago. I'd like to get that
up there.
Corrected. But you know who you're going to play. You're going to host 2 games at home. If needed, the third game's going to be in Washington, but you like to take care of that without having to go on the road.
Right. So we move on to our injury report here versus the Sky. Out, of course, was Mercedes Russell with that season-ending I wouldn't say injury, but kind of injury, I guess. And head coach Noelle Quinn, who was still on health and safety protocol. And then against the Lynx and the Aces, it was just Mercedes Russell, so that we would have head coach Noelle back. Moving on to some team notes here. On August 9th, Storm legend Lauren Jackson makes Australian national team. At 41 years old, the Hall of Famer is named to Australia's World Cup team. And joining her are, I believe,
Steph and Ezzy.
Yeah. On August 12th, the Storm win over Minnesota Lynx clinches them, of course, the number 4 seed, as we mentioned. So they will host, as we said, game 1 and 2 at Climate Pledge against the Washington Mystics in the first round. The Storm ended, right, at a 22-14 record. They are second in the Western Conference and, of course, clinched that number 4 seed. So looking ahead, we face the Mystics on the 18th and the 21st, again, at Climate Pledge. The 18th game will be a 7 p.m. and the 21st is a Sunday, 1 p.m. Those will both be shown on ESPN. the August 18th game will be displayed on ESPN2, and then the August 21st game on ESPN. So glad to see them getting some viewership there.
And then before you move on, I've got the bracket here on the screen. So you play Washington, who you've been able to mostly deal with this season. I don't want to look ahead of them, but if you're able to, take care of business against Washington in round 1, you would play the winner of the Phoenix Mercury Las Vegas Aces series.
Ooh.
So you're likely looking at a rematch with Vegas to get to the finals.
That's tough.
Yeah. So, to be the man, you got to beat the man, right?
Yeah.
So, not going to get any easier, but it just makes the story all more epic, I guess. So, yeah. Washington, game 1, Thursday, game 2, Sunday. Would like to wrap up that round on Sunday.
Definitely get some rest for whichever team, because we don't want to give it to the Aces automatically.
Well, I highly doubt Phoenix comes out of that.
Yeah. So.
But we have to take care of our own business already. So.
And that about wraps up our storm.